Yeah, what's up? This is Jeff. Yeah, what's up? This is Jeff of INNERFIT, where exceptional fitness begins within. As always, we don't consider ourselves to be the authority for telling anyone how to live their lives. Only you can determine our value to you. Today is March the 19th. You know, I don't know whether to say we're in the midst of this coronavirus catastrophe or whether we're at the very beginning. I don't know, but what I do know is that too many people are tripping. Too many people are going overboard, if you will. I just got up. What's it? 8:30 now. I just got up about an hour. Came out about an hour ago to get some essentials, some non-perishables, because we don't know where this thing is headed. To be quite honest, school kids are out of school, and we don't know how long they're going to be out. There's no concerts scheduled, no sporting events scheduled because they've all been canceled. Because we have no idea when we're going to get back to normal functioning. I was just at the dollar store, looking for some toilet paper. yeah, you guys got me buying toilet paper as well. But the young lady, as a matter of fact, I went to two dollar stores. The first one that I went to, the lady is really nice. She's seen me before. I've spoken to her before. She told me that yesterday was crazy in the dollar store. She said that it was just mad. There was one guy that kept coming in and out of the dollar store, and she said he stayed there for 4 hours in the dollar store, waiting on the delivery truck. Yeah, waiting on the delivery truck. We've gotten to the point to where we're causing the people the cashiers in these stores, we're adding stress to their work day because we're going in there tripping, about this coronavirus thing. Now, I'm not trying to minimize this, the impact that this virus is having on the world. I'm not going to go into my true feelings about the whole coronavirus, issue, because it's too political, and I don't want to go that route right now. But I'm a man of faith, and I understand that there are powers and forces at work in this universe that are far beyond my comprehension. So that which I do know, I know from reading and studying the Bible. And I look for biblical principles to apply to my life daily and beyond daily for my life, in order to help me better manage my life. One biblical principle that, and I'm not a preacher, I'm not a minister of the gospel or anything like that. I'm just a believer, I'm a believer. I'm a Christian believer, and a lot of decisions, the way that I manage my life, is based upon my faith. And there's a biblical principle that says that we become what we think about. We become what we think about. And the reason that I think that's appropriate for this day and time in which we're living, with this current catastrophe that is upon us, for lack of a better way of putting it. There's in the Bible, I studied different men in the Bible, because some of the things that I want to learn about successful men, success principles. The Bible is the best book for success principles, for learning success principles. And the book of Job is one that has really intrigued me for decades. I was like a lot of people that thought that the book of Job was about suffering. The book of Job is about suffering, but there is a lot more to the book of Job than suffering. Job is one of the most extensive books in the entire Bible. A lot of the answers that you're looking for in life, proof of God, proof of the creation, the universe, it's in the book of Job. For example, the book of Job, in the book of Job, God says that the book of Job, the word of God says that the world is a circle, it's a globe, so to speak. And there was, for centuries, people thought that the world was flat, but if they had taken the time to read the Bible in the book of Job, they would have found that the world was a circle. And that's not to say it wasn't flat. I'm not going to get into the flat earth teachings. I don't want to go there right now, but you know, the Bible has the answers is basically what I'm trying to say. Even concerning today's coronavirus scare, the answer is in the Bible. But what I want to get to is that we become what we think about, is the gist of this whole impromptu video that I'm putting together here. We become what we think about. It's a true story. It's true. Now, I brought up the book of Job because, yeah, we know that Job suffered. Job, originally, early in the book, one of the most amazing things about the book of Job is God said that God declared Job to be a perfect and upright man. There are only 2 men in the Bible whom God declared to be perfect. Yes, that's right. There were 2 men in the Bible that God declared to be perfect. One was Job, and the other one was Noah. You know, now that's one of the things that led me to study the life of Job. I wanted to learn about Job. What was it about Job's life that caused God to declare him to be perfect and upright? I'm not going to go into that from what I learned from that, but yeah, that's for another day maybe. But you know, we know that Job suffered greatly. He lost everything. Job was a wealthy man, and he ended up losing everything. And the only thing that he had left was the clothes on his back. And he suffered a grave illness where within his flesh there was boils and sores from the crown of his head to the sole of his feet. He suffered. But one thing that Job said, I think it's in chapter 2, at the end of chapter 2, Job said that thing that I've greatly feared has come upon me. Job said that the thing that he greatly feared has come upon him. You know, and I think there's a lesson in that. You know, we can't go through this. We're not going to get through this coronavirus if we're going to be fearful. You know, we can't get through this coronavirus by harboring and nurturing fear. You know, that's how we lose. That's a recipe for disaster. If you go through life fearing that you're going to contract the coronavirus, there's a very strong probability that you're going to contract it. You know, because in the book of Proverbs is where it says we become that which we think about. Okay, so look, stop tripping, yo. Chill out. You know, take measures like what we're doing. You know, it's like, you know, we got to be careful about transmitting germs. You know, washing our hands, being careful about, you know, transmitting viruses. This is a virus season, you know, so we have to be careful about that. We have to take extra precautions. But, you know, it's also important that we boost our immune system, which is what we should be doing during cold and flu season anyway. You know, I'm going to put together a video with certain food items that you can use to boost your immune system, beginning with coconut oil. You know, yeah, we're going to talk about that. But the main thing, hey, you got to stop tripping. You know, you got to stop being fearful. You know, especially if you are of the faith. You got to stop being so fearful, because that which you greatly fear, just like in the book of Job teaches, that which you greatly fear, it's a very high probability that it's going to come upon you. Just like the book of Proverbs teaches. We become that which we think about. Be very careful of the thoughts that you harbor. Be very careful of that which you fear. We are to fear God, you know. The Bible teaches that we are to fear God, you know. But these other fears that we have are, you know, in most cases irrational. You know, if you have an compromised immune system, then, you know, you have to take extra precautionary measures. But, you know, stop tripping. You know, stop going into these these stores put stressing out the staff that's working there because they don't have what you think, what you're looking for. It's not their fault, you know. I in my book that I wrote, I wrote a book, personal development management book, whatever. I can't remember the title of it right now. There's a story in there, and I'm going to close with this. There's a true story in there where this guy was working on the railroad, right? And it was at the end of the day, and he somehow got locked up into a refrigerator car. And he knew that no one was going to be able to come to rescue him until the next day. So he was going to have to spend the night in a refrigerator car, right? So he convinced himself that he was going to freeze to death overnight because he was stuck in a refrigerated car. And the next day, his co-workers came to work and they found him in the refrigerator car. He died overnight. He had frozen to death. Okay? The strange thing about that story is that the refrigerator car was inoperable. It didn't work. So it wasn't generating any power to freeze a hot dog. It wasn't working. But because he had convinced himself that because he was locked in a refrigerator car overnight, he was going to freeze to death, he did. That which he greatly feared came upon him. He became that which he thought about. So look, I'm going to close with that. I don't even know if I'm going to post this. I don't even know how this is going to come out. But hey, look, there's a movie called Bridge of Spies. I think it's the title of it, with Tom Hanks. I saw that movie a few years ago, and it was about this Russian spy, and he was being taken back to Russia, I guess, to be held accountable. I can't remember all of the details. Tom Hanks kept asking him throughout the movie, the end of the movie, he kept asking the guy, "Are you worried?" And the guy said, "Would it help?" Are you worried? Would it help? So my question in closing to you is, are you worried? And will your worrying help? That's the question I want you to ask yourself. Are you worried? Am I worried? And does my worrying help? All right, I'm out. Later.